We have this, what's the name?
Buddy.
Buddy. Buddy is just hanging out with us. Hi, Buddy. You doing good? You'll be on TV. So I'm right here at Father Abraham's house. I come once in a while to just spend time together. We've known each other since I came here. He's traveled with me twice in Africa now. My team had an idea of correcting these stories. Like, how have you seen, how is the ministry's upon my life has impacted you and the people in this area? Look at the dog, he's so
I'm reminded of Moses. When Moses saw the burning bush, the first response he made is, "This must be God." And from then, he began to pursue God and God's will for the people. And from the time I met Gershom in 2010 and began to see the anointing on him, I knew it was God. And being a God chaser myself, I said, I'm going to go with the anointing. And I've seen many lives touched in the presence of God. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And what I've experienced in my 40 years of walking in the kingdom, it's always the same. The things that you will experience in the anointing, under the anointing: love, peace, joy, salvation, deliverance, is what we experience in his presence ministry.
Yeah, it was good. I remember we flew to Africa to come and see me, and oh my goodness, we didn't. What was your experience? I know we popped from one plane to another, and we didn't even have sleep. Actually, he was he's a true warrior.
That's right. I love the church in Africa. It's so alive and it's on fire. When I think of African worship, I think of a rocket ship. It goes from 0 to 1,000 in an instant. And God is on the move in Africa, and to be a part of that ministry and see such humble people in such, going through such hard times, but yet so exuberant and so excited about the Lord. There's so much expectation. As soon as the meetings would begin, miracles would just happen. Before we would even pray, people would be slain in the Spirit. It was an incredible experience.
Yeah, it was amazing, and God used you mightily to pray for so many people. And what are some of the testimonies that God has done here in California since we went together almost in how many churches did we go to around these 5 cities?
Well, it started off kind of slow. Right here in the 5 cities, we probably went to 10 churches within 2 months. And the momentum began to build, and people were hearing about the mighty things God was doing in Gershom's ministry, that it was building such momentum that it began to move to Santa Maria. Then we went down to San Ynez, and then we went up to Atascadero, then we went up to Paso Robles, and just ministering in churches all over the Central Coast. And that's when we begin to realize that God was setting the Central Coast on fire, and there were other prophetic words from other prophets that were saying there was going to be a fire that was going to start in California and spread across the nation.
Wow. What about that? I know I was ministering, but there is the fire that physically appeared.
Well, that was the meeting in Napomo, the night we were having 7 nights of glory at the Miranda Ranch, and right in the middle of ministry, the fire department pulled up. And they were told there was a fire out in the field. That's where we were ministering. The Miranda Ranch is a open area, and it was an outside event. And the neighbors had called the fire department and said there was a fire where we were. And we had a photographer at that location. She was filming the ministry, and she actually has flames of fire, which we would call, according to Acts 2, tongues of fire were coming from the worshipers at the meeting.
That was like incredible. I remember at one time it was so cold because we were having a meeting in an open space, and I could really feel the heat covering the whole entire area, despite being chilly and cold, but we couldn't feel it. That was supernatural.
Yeah, there was so many healings, so much deliverance taking place in that ministry. The only thing that was shutting it down was because it was getting late and it was an outside meeting, but otherwise we could have spent the whole night in his presence.
Because people couldn't get out. Sometimes I was told some people would leave at like 3 a.m., even 6 a.m. and still come back to the meetings. It's just amazing. And then you had somebody who was possessed by the devils. He was set free. Remember the guy?
Yeah, that was Calvin.
Oh, Calvin was set free by the power of God.
Yeah, Calvin Rowan had quite the experience in that ministry, that night of ministry.
And he came while we were eating in Dennis. He fell under the power of God.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Anyway, we just wanted to encourage you that and capture these stories. This is Dennis Marshall, Father Abraham. He travels with me when he's free. Thank you for standing with me for all these years, close to 10 years now. Thanks.
Amen. I'm honored.
Come on.